But Ed, this movie has a strong political agenda. It's a neocon fantasy, and there's no good Iraqi except the dead Iraqi. And I think what we will learn from this, and why the movie is in fact dangerous propaganda, is that we got to go to war, we got to kill people, and that's going to make democracy safer. Well, it's nonsense.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the left going crazy over the success of the great movie American Sniper, the story of Chris Kyle. And joining us now is Chris Mark, retired sniper in the U.S. Marine Corps and a principal at Mark Consulting Group and manager at Global Risk Info. Hello, Chris.
Hi.
Great to talk to you. Thanks for joining us. And great piece at National Review Online, which, just for the folks' knowledge, is smearing snipers, what many Americans don't get about our warrior elite. Before we get to that, your response to what you just heard from that movie producer, the disgusting tweets that have gone out and the Facebook postings trashing specifically snipers, and although they're now, you know, Michael Moore is saying, "Oh, I wasn't talking about Chris Kyle." Well, of course he was.
Sure. Yeah, I think, let me just correct something quickly. I apologize, but we like to get this accurate. I'm not a retired sniper. I did serve as a sniper. I got out of the military on a disability, a service-connected disability, but I'm not officially retired. So we've seen this for a long time, and certainly there are many, many good Iraqis that are not dead Iraqis. I didn't have the opportunity to serve in Iraq, but I was in Somalia. And I can say that in addition to the bad Somalis that we saw doing horrific things to folks, there were many, many very good Somalis. So again, these comments, I think we all know, they're designed to inflame, and they've done just that. So they have the opportunity and the right to say what they like, as objectionable as it is. And thank God many brave men and women have sacrificed to give them that right.
You talk about in your piece, Chris, and this is so heartbreaking to me just reading it. You talk about that employer of yours 10 years ago made you delete the portion of your bio that had that you were a scout sniper because it might be offensive to a prospective client. Why?
That's a great question. I think really it just comes down to people not understanding. I mean, we're maligned, and really, if you look at what Hollywood has done before this movie, it's really cast snipers as these, men struggling through a lonely life that enjoy killing, and that's not the case at all. In fact, there's almost an inside joke that a lot of the snipers are really the more analytic and geeky of the folks, because we like to sit down and do calculations and things like that. So it's unfortunate, but in surveying my sniper friends, we've got some private, social media communities. It's not unheard of even today, and it's not uncommon. So it certainly is unfortunate.
And you also talk about how the movie, naturally it took a poetic license from the book and from the real story, but it does, in your view at least, portray, Kyle as who he was, and not just as in the military, but also as a husband and as a father.
Sure, and I didn't have the privilege of knowing Chris Kyle, but I've got a number of friends who did know him personally. So before I wrote that piece, I wanted to get it accurate. So again, I surveyed the group, and consistently what I heard was generous, humble, courageous, and generosity kept coming back, and his willingness to help folks in charity. So yeah, I mean, what I did like about the movie is it really portrayed a man first with the same struggles that we all have, doing a very, very difficult job in a very dangerous situation. He was troubled at times, certainly like we all are, and he always put his country first. And I think the movie, really did justice by Chris Kyle and by the sniper community.
This is something I don't think a lot of people realized, and maybe till now. You believe that there is, through your own personal experience and what we're seeing now, that snipers are held, for those on the left who would disdain the whole U.S. military, they hold a special place in their hearts against snipers. Is that what the reality of the world?
Sure, I think Michael Moore's comments made that pretty clear. It's a pretty uninformed view of combat and of warfare. I think he made a statement to the effect that snipers are cowards because they shoot people in the back. Well, it's apparent he's never had the privilege of serving in any capacity in combat, but guess what? People get shot in the back all the time by a lot of people. They get blown up, they get horrifically injured and wounded. So yes, I think it really just comes from a place of ignorance and just, again, an uninformed position or opinion on combat. They just, unless you've been there, you don't really know. And apparently some of these folks have not taken the opportunity to educate themselves.
Yeah. All right, Chris, God bless you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, folks. So we're coming back with Peter Marisi, talk about the State of the Union tonight.